So today I'm going to start my first ever vlog, reading vlog, and I'm gonna do a week of reading. So I just finished a book yesterday. I'm always reading a few books at one time, usually like one or two nonfiction books and then one fiction book. At least that's the way it has been as of late. Yesterday I just finished So Fetch, which was the making of Mean Girls. And that was cute. It was like 3.5 star. I'm currently also reading Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria by Beverly Daniel Tatum. And that's really good so far. I don't give social justice books a rating on Goodreads, so that won't be coming, but I am enjoying it so far. I'm learning a lot. So far so good with that one. Today, I'm gonna start my next fiction read, and I'm gonna read what I anticipate to be a potential 5-star read. I'm hoping it is because it seems right up my alley. I'm gonna start reading The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. When I went to Barnes & Noble, they were like, if you like Knives Out, you're gonna like this, and I love Knives Out, so that's what I'm gonna give a go today. And yeah, I'm gonna take you along with me. My computer broke. So that's really fun. I have a treadmill desk. Here, I'll show you. And I dropped my computer. My treadmill desk has like an e-stop on it, and I tripped a little bit and I tripped a little bit, and so it emergency stopped, and I flailed my arms, and my computer on my stand just came tumbling down the back. So that was not a good time. So I have to go get that fixed at the Genius Bar today. Hopefully they can fix it today, because I want to start editing my first video. If they are able to fix it today, I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a wait. So if that's the case, I'm gonna go to the library, post up and read my book, and hopefully get some good amount of reading in today. I also love going to the library because as an audiobook and ebook listener, I'm not checking out physical books from the library, but I do go in to browse. If anything strikes my fancy, I'll take a picture of the cover and add that to my list and potentially buy it on Kindle or Audible, or see if it's on Everand, which used to be Scribd. Or Scribd, however you used to say it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I'll bring you along as I start my new book, and yeah, let's go. So the way I've been reading my fiction books lately is I will listen to the audiobook at the same time I read on my Kindle, and I'll use the dyslexia font on my Kindle. So if you haven't seen that yet, this is what the dyslexia font looks like on Kindle. So this has been helping me a ton. So let's get started. Chapter 1. Okay, so I just started, but so far so good. I am 8% done with the book. It's really easy to read, and I already like our main character so far, Avery, and her sister Libby. Now, this isn't really giving much away because I think this is probably in the synopsis of the book, but this story is about a girl who inherits a large sum of money from a man that she's never met. The catch is she has to go to the will reading with the family. Some kind of games ensue. I'm excited to get more into it. As of right now, she just got to the Hawthorne Mansion, which is the family's residence. So very curious to see what comes next, and I'm having a good time. Hello. Okay, so little update. I'm 65% done with the inheritance games. There's a lot of unanswered questions at this point, and I know that that's part of the mystery. That's part of the purpose of the story, but there's something about it that I'm not like, it's not like so gripping. Like I was really anticipating I was really anticipating this to be a 5-star read. It might still get there. Like I'm sitting at a nice, like, you know, 4 stars, you know, something like that, which is great, like really good. But maybe the ending will blow me away. At this point, I'm not blown away. I'm not wowed by the story. There's a lot of puzzle pieces that still need to come together, and I'm sure that that's coming. But that's the update. That's where I'm at. I only have an hour and a half left of the audiobook and 35% left on the Kindle. So I think I am probably gonna knock this bad boy out today, which is crazy. I can't think of the last time I binged a book in one day that wasn't like super short. This isn't the longest book in the world, but yeah, that's that's where we're at right now. I will update you when I finish. Good morning. So I finished reading the inheritance games last night, and honestly, I really liked it. I had a little bit of a hard time getting into it just because maybe this is just me. I was a little bit confused because there were so many characters. Whenever she moves in with the family, there are so many family members. It was hard for me to keep track of them all. Once I got a good grasp on who was who and what was happening, I really enjoyed it. My overall thought was this would do really well as a movie, just because there were a lot of aspects of it that I felt like could be really great visually. There's a lot of puzzles, there's a lot of moving pieces with the puzzles. It's something that I could visualize, but it was also something that I wish I had the opportunity to see on screen, if that makes sense. I overall really did like the book. I gave it 4.25 stars. So this morning I'm just gonna listen to Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria while I get ready and walk on my treadmill desk a little bit. And then later today, I'm hoping to dive into Normal People by Sally Rooney. Never read anything by Sally Rooney before. I've heard good things about this book, so I'm excited to give it a shot. Come along with me for another full day of reading. Okay, hi, little reading update. So I started reading The Maid after all instead of Normal People. I have it on my Kindle, but I wanted to listen to it at the same time, and I have a hold on it on Libby, and I thought it was going to be available today. It wasn't. So I own The Maid, and I also own The Maid on audiobook, so I started this first. I am 28% done. I'm on page 101, and I really like it so far. And when I talk about liking a character, I said that I liked the character in the inheritance games, and now that I've had like 24 hours to sit on it, I'm realizing, no, I didn't. She just wasn't giving me much. And especially with reading The Maid, I'm realizing it's just fresh on my mind, so I'm comparing the two, and The Maid is so much more interesting to me right now. I am just kind of enthralled into the story, and I'm flying through it. Like I read all of that in one sitting, and it was really easy to do. I only stopped because I had to get back to work. but I'm loving it so far. I can't wait to keep going and figure out what happens. There's a mystery, potentially a murder mystery. It's looking like a murder mystery for sure. There's a death, and it's very mysterious and a lot of interesting characters. So I'm very excited to continue to see what's going on. I'm also 42% done with Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria. Also learning a lot and really enjoying that. So really good, productive reading day for me, and I'm excited to see what comes tomorrow. So I'm on chapter 8 of The Maid. She has a really compelling personality. I'm excited to see what unfolds. I haven't been this enthralled or curious about a book ever since I read The Housemaid, which, to be fair, was recent. And I'm doing this really unfair thing where I'm comparing all of my books to The Housemaid, which isn't fair because that was a 5-star read for me, The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. I'm trying not to compare the thrillers and mysteries that I read to that, but I will say I haven't been this interested since then. And I've read a couple books in between, including The Inheritance Games, which I really wanted to be a 5-star read for me. It wasn't. But that's okay. We can't win them all. It was still good. I still enjoyed it. It just wasn't what I was expecting it to be or what I wanted. That's where I'm at with The Maid. I'm gonna keep going and see how far I can get today. I have quite a bit of time today. I'm a massage therapist. I had a cancellation, so I have a couple hours from now to my next client. Let's keep going. Well, hi, how's it going? I finished The Maid yesterday. I am going to leave my full reviews of all the books that I read this week to the end of the video, but I'll quickly say that I did really enjoy it. There were some fun plot twists and I liked the way everything unfolded. I thought the writing was compelling and it was overall just a good time. So I would recommend it. Stay tuned later for a star rating if you want to hear it. Today I am going to start reading Normal People. Well, I started yesterday, but I got like a chapter in. So I'm gonna continue reading Normal People, continue reading Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria. That's the update as of now. And I'm excited for another good day of reading. It's been a really good week. Good morning. So as of right now, I'm 50% done with Normal People by Sally Rooney, and I am surprised at how much I like it. It is a romance, and I've never read one before. This is a new experience for me, but I really like Marianne, which is one of the main characters. She is feisty and like, I was gonna say mysterious, but she's mysterious and completely forthright at the same time. It's giving me like Manic Pixie Dream Girl a little bit. Like she just in the way of like her being, she's such an interesting and like complex person, but again, like very straightforward at the same time. The way it starts out is Connell's mom works at Marianne's house cleaning. And so he goes over to the house to pick her up one day, and they have kind of like a moment, like sparks kind of fly. But Connell at school is like a cool guy. He's a popular guy. He has a lot of friends, and Marianne is weird. Like she doesn't have friends at school, and people make fun of her. So they develop this relationship and start having relations. I don't know what you can say on YouTube. Connell wants to keep it a secret. Eventually they go off to college. Marianne kind of becomes a little bit more of a social butterfly, and she has friends and people really like her. So now Connell's kind of on the outs, but it's interesting. They're kind of like circling each other, and we'll see what happens, but I'm liking it so far. I'm along for the ride, and that's the update as of now. Hi bookish friends. So I'm here to recap my week of reading. I finished 4 books this week, which is really crazy. Definitely the most books I've ever finished in a week. I think recording this video helped with that, knowing that I just wanted to keep going, and I had a lot of fun filming this video, so hopefully you guys enjoy it too. But I will start at the beginning and go from there. So the first book I read and finished was The Inheritance Games. Now, I mentioned a little bit my thoughts on it, and as I've had some time to sit with it a little bit, I think my rating is a solid 4 stars, which is really good for me. There were puzzles and games, and it was something that the reader could really follow along with as well. So I liked that about it. I do think I'm going to continue with the series, give the second one a try, and then if I like that one, potentially give the third one a try. That's how I felt about The Inheritance Games. The next one I read and finished is Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Again, I don't give a rating to these social justice books, but something that I really got a lot of value out of in this book in particular was that they talked about how to have conversations with young people about race. The next one I read and finished was The Maid, and that book I did enjoy. I have some mixed feelings about it as I've sat with it. I liked that it was a cozy mystery. It felt very low stakes. Like there was a mystery about, was this person unalived by the hands of someone else, or is that something that they did to themselves? And we follow our main character as she becomes a suspect in this crime. The reasons I have mixed feelings about it is the book synopsis describes Molly, our main character, as someone who has a hard time picking up on social cues. There's a lot of very blatant and obvious hints towards the fact that our main character, Molly, is neurodivergent and potentially on the spectrum, which I do love reading a book where someone is on the spectrum. My gripe with it, or my concern or my question about it is this book offensive? I think it would be better to listen to the voices of someone that is neurodivergent than to listen to me. Something that kind of raised questions in my mind was how the characters in the book, a lot of the side characters, called her really weird and abnormal and just used language that didn't feel very comfortable to me. But again, I am a neurotypical person, so I'd be much more interested to hear the perspective of a neurodivergent person. But overall, I did really like the book, and I gave it 4.25 stars. The next book I read was Normal People by Sally Rooney. Now, this is a book that took me on a little bit of a roller coaster. It was the first romance I've ever read. It was definitely a little bit more serious in nature than what I was looking for. I was hoping for a palate cleanser. I had just been reading a lot of thrillers. So I was hoping for something that was light and floofy, and this book wasn't that, which is fine, but it just wasn't the book that I wanted to reach for at the time. So maybe that skews my perspective on it a little bit, but I mentioned at the beginning of reading this book that I was really enjoying it. I did like the beginning. The issue that I ended up having with it was it felt really repetitive. The book felt like these characters kept circling each other. It was a very like, will they, won't they? Are they ever really gonna end up together in a permanent kind of way? That's something that just kept happening throughout the book. I didn't love the climax of the book. So it's a book that I gave 3 stars, which isn't a bad rating. 3 stars in my mind is, I liked the book, it was enjoyable, but it's not something I would recommend to everybody. I would recommend it to a certain group of people. I would recommend it to somebody that wasn't necessarily looking for a happily ever after at the end, which is fine. I wasn't necessarily looking for that either, but I wouldn't recommend it to someone that wants a really solid, concrete resolution at the end of the book. So that was my week of reading. Thank you so much for coming along with me. If you watched all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. And if you did, I would love it if you would leave this video a like and potentially subscribe if you want to. And I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time, bookish friends. Bye.